Hi, it's Johnny here from Flexible Digital Urban Modelling, a class with Dr. Marcus White from the University of Melbourne. In this tutorial I want to show you how to set up a volume light to produce light rays within the scene. This is my street with buildings on either side, and I've currently got a sunlight system or daylight system set up. This location is Melbourne, Australia, and I've also got a free directional light set up. Unfortunately, with daylight systems, you can't use them as volume lights. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this free directional light, which comes from Create Light Standard Lights, to, I guess, use in addition to the daylight system, just for visual effect. Or any testing will happen with the actual daylight system, but like I said, this is for, I guess, getting the supporting imagery. So what I'm going to do first is, you see I've got a camera set up already. So I'll turn on the camera, and I'll just render it to show you how it looks with the daylight system set up. And I'm going to take a clone of this, move it over here. So ideally I want to try and show a bit more fog or light rays from the sun coming across the top of this building to emphasize the shade. So what I'm going to do first is, back in perspective, Pin P, I'm going to select my sun, and I want to turn this off. So turn off sunlight and skylight, I think. And now select my directional light, and I had this turned off, so I'm going to turn it on. I want to turn shadows on also. Now within this, shut these down, you can see. So you can see that in the directional parameters, my hotspot beam is 80 meters and my fall off is 90. So hotspot is the internal cylinder, and fall off is the outer line, and this dictates the sort of the gradient between full light and no light. So if you wanted to be like a spotlight, these would be the same. And under atmospheres and effects, I'm going to add volume light, select it, hit setup. This takes you into the environment and effect dialog box or options. You can see there's two volume lights set up here. This must have been from the previous one I'd already set up, so I'm going to delete that. And what we need to do is maybe turn off map. These are some of the predefined settings that are created when you create your daylight system. So I might turn on to no exposure control and go back to my camera. Let's just see how that looks. And if I bring over the daylight system, you can start seeing how different the effect of the volume light has. So now under atmosphere and selecting the volume light, we can change a few of these figures to impact the fog. First I want to maybe give it a bit of a colour, so a bit of a warmer colour. But you can choose whichever colour you like. And I want to turn on some noise, so maybe I have to make that 0.4. And let's see how that. I'm actually going to select go back to perspective mode, and I'm going to change the placement of this light to better create the effect that we're after. So I'm going to lower it down. You can start seeing some of the noise coming through here. It's only very faint. We can try and intensify that. Maybe if I make the amount 1, and maybe turn on turbulence and render that. So as you can see, at least we're getting some fog, but that's probably a little bit extreme with the noise, so we'll make that 0.5. And perhaps we'll make the size a lot smaller, so it's more like dust particles, so 0.5 as well. And I'm again going to move my adjust the placement of my light, see if I can create the visual effect that I'm after. And perhaps the size could probably be up a bit, so we'll try 5. And now finally I want to make it appear like it's moving, so I want to give some wind from the left, and let's try 5. Maybe a bit more. When we increase our render settings, the quality of the image should improve. And what I intend to do with this is, from the same camera viewport, take renders using the daylight system, and then within Photoshop overlay these two images to create the visual effect that I'm after. And there we have it. That's making or using volume lights within the street scene. Hope this is useful. Thanks for watching.